There, now we're live. Just had to put the old password in again. Too tired for this.
I
Twitch.
found out long ago. Heading down the holiday road.
Whoops. That's not at all what I wanted to do. Okay. Holy crap.
Holiday road.
Someone smack me in the face.
Samson, you're my boy, Blue.
Oh, okay.
I got nothing else to talk about.
Yeah.
How are things?
Things are good. It was a good weekend. I'll give you that much.
Oh fuck! All right, yeah. So, Mega's birthday was Saturday, and all she wanted was this cake. Let me show you what I had to walk down Lorraine Road with 3 blocks with. Hold on.
For those of you not in the northeastern Ohio area, Lorraine Boulevard is a very busy street.
Okay.
I don't even know what's happening anymore.
I don't either.
I'm too tired. This is just a dream.
There is no spoon, Boston.
Nope.
Actually, you ate the spoon. You might want to do something about
I'll
that.
probably follow that up later.
Yeah.
Hello to everyone in chat. I should have gotten a coffee or something. What the heck?
That is a cake.
She's missing a part. I kind of want to eat that cake.
I kind of want to eat that cake too. That
Another
looks pretty
Jay-Z in
good.
chat says, "Oh God, what have you done?"
Hey, guess what? You're all accessories too.
Murder.
Yes.
It's a fine cake, sir.
So I'd parked 3 blocks away, picked this fucking thing up. Of course, the whole fucking world's out, and here I am walking with a princess Barbie doll cake.
Because of course.
True love.
I was like, yeah, this isn't embarrassing at all. Oh, I guess I gotta open the door for this one, too.
Yeah.
It was delicious. I would have thought it was a whole Barbie doll that was stuck in it. No, it's a torso on a spike.
That is metal.
Yeah, no kidding. That's a fucking Iron Maiden cake.
Should just be Eddie on top of there. Just.
Yeah, does anyone make an Eddie cake?
I'm sure.
Someone
I actually
has to.
know someone who works at a bakery that is a huge metalhead,
Nice.
and she would totally do that. I'm surprised she hasn't yet, actually.
I know what I'm asking for my birthday.
For sure. Let's see if we can ship it.
Get the meetup cake.
Yeah.
I don't give a shit. Put it on a fucking guitar. It always looks cool.
Yeah, whatever.
Yeah.
All right. I think let's do this thing.
Let's make the magic happen, gentlemen.
Yep. Let's make some sausage.
Sausage. I made meatballs this week. They're fucking amazing.
Yeah.
Nice.
It's sausage and ground beef.
Very nice.
Little red pepper flakes. Back the meatball.
Okay.
We apologize to our Italian listeners / viewers.
Yeah.
Come on, I'm like a quarter Italian. I'm allowed to say stupid shit.
All right. You guys ready?
Yep.
Yep.
All right. Starting in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back to another episode of That Video Game Podcast. I'm your exhausted host, Boston. Over there is Knobs.
Duh.
And over there's a Hannah.
Hey, hey.
I've instructed my co-host here to yell very loud if I fall asleep on the podcast. So if you hear loud noises and or clamor, that's probably the reason.
I'll just start
Glamour.
typing. That'll wake you up.
Yeah, there we go.
Just place the keyboard right under the mic.
Yeah,
I think your forehead striking the desk will work better than anything we can do.
I don't know. I'm pretty tired. Maybe that'll just knock me out. Wanted to remind everyone that all of the opinions of the hosts on this show are their own and not respective of their employers. And also, we're not really going to be talking about E3. Sort of pulling back the curtain here, we record on Sundays. So E3 hasn't started, and the main presentations won't start until tomorrow, and then the rest of the show happens Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So we will have our blowout E3 extravaganza episode next week. Know what you've been playing, no releases, no nothing.
No
Just
mercy.
E3. Yeah, no
mercy.
Watch UFC 137 E3 extravaganza.
No mercy.
So we may have to change the recording day and time next week for that. So if you want to watch it live, if you want to come chat with us, keep an eye on the TVGP Twitter account.
Yes.
I will keep that stuff up. So, with all that out of the way, Knobs, what you been playing?
Alright, well, start off usual. Monday night, Left 4 Dead 2.
Man, GM.
It's just a fantastic time.
Always a good time.
Every game is unique and crazy in its own way. I think we had another comeback victory where I thought we were in trouble. It was like the old school versus the new schools. I think it was Nintendork, Tom Z, myself, and another I think veteran. We were all on one team, and it was like all like the newer guys that have been showing up, and they bricked us pretty hard the first two maps. But towards the end, we all came through.
Oh yeah, Dream
Sweet.
Team wins it again.
I think it came down to a poorly executed tank by Ian that gave us the victory. Like it was right. Well, it was we played Dark Carnival, and we got a tank right when you opened the safe room gates.
Oh man.
So underneath the grandstands where the tank was, and he came at us full charge while we were just picking him off as he's coming towards us. I was the tank on my turn, so I just kind of went behind, hit a little bit, let all the special go in and cause some chaos, and then I snuck in and
Clean up.
Start batting some balls around. But it was awesome. It was another tight victory. So I think that was definitely losable by us. So it was good time. Let me see what else I play. It was there for Thursday night game night. Little UT 2K4 action, which was good. I was having some problems with trying to get Ventrilo and any bit of my technology to work for chat.
Yeah,
Where
Vent is a black hole of working technology.
It really is.
It
works, it's amazing.
I was screaming, and I couldn't figure out how to get any of this mic to work.
Yep.
For like the first 2 or 3 matches. I'm just like, I'm so angry. Like I'd play for a little bit and then it would freeze because Ventrilo would be reloading. I'm like,
Oh, Vent.
Like I knew I was in trouble, so I'm sitting there playing, and all of a sudden next thing everyone's just running into a wall, and I'm like, come on. And I'm sure, can anybody hear me?
The other Jay-Z in chat says, it was awesome. It would only work long enough to hear a stream of cursing, then it would cut back out.
Well, the problem was probably you set it to activate voice chat on a certain curse word.
That's true.
No, my idiot self didn't see the checkbox for push to talk.
Oh, that's awesome.
Oh,
Well,
technology.
that and the wonderful mute button on the headset I was using was fantastic.
Amazing.
So I was literally just so aggravated. But when I got to play, it was fun. We had a good time. A lot of confusion because those maps are very elaborate for Assault. So
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah.
we played. We had what was it? I think we had 9 people in that very first 1v1 deathmatch stage. It was pandemonium. Like torsos and body parts flying. Everyone was hovering around a rocket launcher. And it was just madness. I think someone racked up maybe 60 kills in that round.
Shit.
That's not surprising, considering how small that map is.
It was like I constantly was spawning into trouble the
Oh, I
entire.
did pretty well on this map. I went 60-3.
You used to see scores like that in CS, man. It was crazy.
Oh yeah,
I died 3 times. This was a terrible day for me.
yeah.
Yeah.
Only went 75-2.
Yeah. Oh. But,
One of those
no,
kills
it was-
off. It didn't count.
it was really a lot of fun. Like I just love playing that game. I just wish I didn't have some of the technical issues that I had last week. I'd have probably fared a little bit better. So just kind of middle of the pack the whole time. That was a good time. And since apparently I can't stop playing Luminous, I played some more.
Ah, that makes
I'm
2
still-
of us, sir.
I'm still in the same game, so I mean I've been playing about 100,000 and I set it down.
Yeah,
I score 100,000 and I set it down.
Everything in moderation.
indeed.
That's how I've been rolling with it now. Now that I say that, I'm probably going to be up all night playing it.
Yeah.
But outside of playing that, I went to my first arena football game.
Oh.
Guess what? Arena football sucks. I don't care. It's cool. You get to keep the ball, even though I did get to watch a 70-year-old man wrestle a ball away from a child, which was
That's awesome.
it's fairly entertaining. And then the whatever team, the Iowa Barnstormers, which I don't know if you've ever seen. If anyone gets a chance to Google the helmet for Iowa Barnstormers, I spent the whole game trying to figure out why there's a set of sticker goggles like on the helmet, like as like the logo. And I was like, Barnstorm. What's a Barnstorm? It's like, oh, and then I look at their other like crest logo, and it has a little plane with the little wings. It's like Barnstorms. Oh, they're the people that do the crop dusting stuff. So yeah, they need goggles. I was like, okay.
So for those of you in chat, this is the logo for the Iowa Barnstormers.
But if you you actually see their helmet, they have like this sticker goggle on it, and like their
Yeah,
helmet's, like
I've seen
matte
that.
black. It was kind of clever, and I'm like, okay, that's kind of cool. It's like, why do they have goggles? It drove me nuts the entire game. But it's
Iowa
just
steampunkers.
dude, some of those names for that are just ridiculous.
Yeah, the good names are taken, man.
Oh, I mean they're like what would you call it? Like semi-pro team names. Like they're just across the board.
Nice.
Like they had, and there was an event at every like 15 minutes. Some people were on the court playing something stupid. Like it was just dumb. Like the entire
I
time.
did not enjoy it.
Well, no, like all right, they had one girl with an RC car like racing through cones. Like okay, the one cool thing was Moondog was like chucking footballs at a giant target from like the grandstands up in like the upper mezzanine. It was kind of fun.
Nice.
But it's so slow. Like I thought regular professional football is slow, but it's kind of deliberately slow. This is just there's a penalty on every play.
Jeez.
But that's those guys fly around the field. I was yelling because like we were like 4 or 5 rows back, and I was yelling at the other team. And one guy didn't realize that LeBron James doesn't play for Cleveland anymore, and he kept doing the woo. No one cares. And I yelled. I called him Tinker Bell, and he was like 3 rows. It was fun. It was fun. It was real close. But yeah, I don't think I'll ever go see another Cleveland Gladiator games again. It was just bad. It just wasn't fun. It wasn't entertaining. I was hoping it would be. I was hoping to get a football, to be honest with you. But anyway, last game I played was Warhammer 40K Space Marine.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah, I probably played about 45 minutes of it, and I don't think I've ever heard Space Marine mentioned verbally in anything more than that game ever. And I just started.
You're a Space Marine and a team of Space Marines. Space Marine.
Space Marines. We're Ultramarines. So like, okay, I figured someone would say Ultramarines. Like, no.
No, that's
Apparently,
a color. Don't be crazy.
Ultramarine. The color of that cake I brought up.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, actually.
But no, it's that game's a lot of fun. That's the execute attacks are amazing. Like you start off pretty much, you have your infinite handgun, and then you have a really, really big knife that you just kind of like go like right in the top of the orcs' heads and stuff.
Is it like the chainsaw knife or just the regular one?
No, I just got that chainsaw knife before I stopped playing, and that thing just has a terrifying sound. It's like,
yeah, it sounds like a horror movie.
Yeah. Well, what's great is when you grab that dude up by the neck, you just kind of and you like backhand saw him in half.
Yeah,
it's cool. Probably this game, I would have to say, has the best curb stomp I have ever seen in video game history.
Nice.
Ever. Because he starts it off with a rock bottom.
Great.
Like, pops a big boot in the back of the head. Done.
That is a big boot on those Marines, too.
Yeah.
Dude, everything's shot, and they have a little head.
Yeah. I've always liked that. It's just these giant dudes with these tiny little heads.
Like it's like reverse NyQuil. Like it's like the Q is like super small, like capital small wide, big Q. But this guy's like head's huge, and these huge shoulder guards and stuff. But apparently the Ultramarines are treated like royalty when they show up.
Yep.
It's nuts. But one effect I did think was really cool in that the first level once you land on a planet, where like off in the distance there's this giant gun just shooting off into who knows what where. It could be shooting planets in another solar system, but it's like has this really cool boof, and you just see the muzzle flash, but you hear it, and then all of a sudden like the shockwave comes all the way across the stage.
Oh wow!
And it happens consistently throughout the level so far. It's just a really cool, really nice touch, because they could do that just when you open up and then it never shoots again, but like every minute and a half that thing fires and you hear it everywhere you are in this map.
Cool.
And then 2 or 3 seconds later, like everything gets real dusty and like the the atomic bomb. Yes, the atomic bomb, like the things. You know what I'm doing right here, like that. And like everything's like. I'm doing a visual gag on an audio, but
I'm so tired.
Whatever.
Little wang. Geiger counter.
It's not a Geiger counter, but just like everything kind of like shifts down and then settles back up.
Oh yeah.
All the stuff around you, but it's really cool. I really like it a lot, and man, do they throw a lot of enemies at you.
Good.
Yeah. Like they give you plenty of stuff to really rip and roar with the melee attacks, and it's a blast.
Yeah.
I can't wait to play more of it because like I just cannot believe how much fun I had with that little bit I played with it.
It sounds like just a really great, straightforward action game. You know, like a really good palate cleanser where it's like I'm just gonna play a game where I can just shoot everything.
Like I just really don't want to pay attention to what's going on because honestly, I don't know, and I don't really think anyone really knows what's happening in the Warhammer universe. So
orcs are fighting humans in space.
The cool thing about the Warhammer universe, I really love their take on orcs because the orcs are actually psionic. They don't know it, but they are psionic. So, like, orcs paint things red to make them go faster, and because they believe that, the things the orcs paint red actually go faster.
Oh, Warhammer, you're losing me.
It's insane, and I love it.
Oh, man, that's crazy.
Yeah.
But no, and everyone's got this weird. I can't place the accent of some of these characters. Like the orcs are really off, and I don't know what dialect they're pulling for those voice actors. It's just orcish. I don't know. It's
does it still sound like because the Warhammer like sort of RTS game on PC sort of had like this like Cockney British accent for the orcs. Does it sound like that? It's
kind of Space Marine comment. Like I don't know.
Yeah, like Lock, Stock, and Two Smoking Barrels.
Yeah, like Jason Statham before he was Americanized.
Yeah, exactly.
Like the words start on the right side of the mouth and always finish on the left. Like it's got to go all the way across. Like I don't know. It's weird. I don't know. It's something. It's not really driving me nuts yet, but I can see it needling me as the game goes on.
Yeah.
Where I will play the game on mute and just read subtitles.
Yeah.
Been there.
But it's good. I'm really looking to play more of that. And pretty much my PSA this week is Arena Football sucks.
Well, Hannah, what you got?
I've actually got a nice little smattering of games here. I finally finished MGS3.
Yeah.
And man, I forgot how much of that game happens after you beat it.
Snake Eater.
So much story. Like, you finish the game and, like, it's over. You're not going to play anymore.
No.
But you got, like, a good 30 minutes of storytelling going.
Yep.
And it's like, oh, so that's what was going on the whole time. All right, that all makes sense
the
now.
Patriots.
Yeah, it ain't even the Patriots. It didn't even touch on that yet. That's where it kind of originates from. That's sort of the starting point of all that. But then it's like, hey, remember that third country that was involved in the Philosopher's Legacy? Yeah, they were totally in on all this too.
And you're like, oh.
It's like, oh yeah, they mentioned them a couple times. That was kind of I should have seen that.
Yeah.
Should have seen that coming. But yeah, then that game's a blast, and it just the emotional impact of that ending, like when you finish playing that game. That every time. Yeah. That is awesome and a fantastic way to end that game.
Now you gotta fire a Peace Walker since it starts like a year after that.
Yeah, I do, but I fired up another Metal Gear game this week, actually. I finally popped in Metal Gear Rising: Revengeance, and that is the game I need to play right now because man, that game is fun.
That game is all the way dumb in a platinum way.
And I love it because it's just like, wait, hold on. So you've got the Metal Gear ridiculousness, but it's not taking itself too seriously, and the gameplay is really, really good and fun.
It's sharp.
I am in whole hog on this game already, and I've played it maybe 2 hours.
Yeah.
Did you switch the control style on that? Because I found the alternate version was a lot easier dicing stuff up using the, I don't know if this is left stick or right stick.
Oh, the right
stick.
Because one trigger held it, and then I used the right stick to
slash.
Oh,
yeah, to slash.
I'm gonna have to check that out.
The way I've got it set up is instead of using the thumbstick to slash, I just alternate between X and Y and use the left thumbstick to kind of direct it a little bit, because X will do a horizontal slash and Y will do a vertical. And you can sort of aim it with the actual right thumbstick on the default mode, and it's working out for me so well. I started it on easy simply because I just wanted to play the game to see what it was like.
Yeah.
And just kind of get a feel for it, because it seems like it's not going to be very long. That's the impression I get of it. And I'm already like 2 or 3 boss fights in, so I can't see it going like terribly long unless there's a bajillion of these things.
No, if I remember correctly, somebody had said without cutscenes, it's like 5 hours long.
All right, so it's like 12 hours long. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, you're good.
But yeah, I'm having a blast with that game. I mean, it's full on dumb Metal Gear. Like make no mistake, there's dumb here without question, but it is still like it is a solid, well put together, really fun, really entertaining game. And even when it's dumb, it's still kind of like, oh, it's Metal Gear dumb, so it's still entertaining.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's dumb and it looks fantastic.
Oh, that's what I was gonna say. Like that to me, like I had forgotten how much I love 60 frames per second games until I fired that up, and I was like, oh, hello.
Yeah, and I really love the simplicity of the controls. Like, because they are rather simple, but you can really dig into them, and like instead of having that dedicated block button somewhere on the controller, you all you can do is parry.
Yeah.
And that's amazing.
Well, that's the thing that I really respected about Vanquish. Is everything you do in that game is really simple, but it's just how much of a flourish do you want to put it? Like, how much do you want to combine your stuff together and make it look really cool?
Exactly, and that's really where the combat's very visual and very visceral, very just. I'm gonna get that I'm gonna heal off of this guy, so I gotta time the blade mode right and cut him open at the right angle and grab that whatever nano paste it is and just. And it's like when you pull that off like perfectly, like 2 or 3 times in a row, that is the most satisfying thing in the world.
That's the stuff that Platinum does really well.
Just those little like it's an intrinsic reward for the combat, and that really makes a huge difference. You're not just fighting to fight, you're fighting because the fighting is fun in and of itself.
Yeah. I think that's one thing they really captured really good in Mad World, was stringing everything along to the point where you grab that last dude with that stop sign and go crank right through him. You're like, boom, done.
Yeah.
Give me my tokens.
Booyah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is. I'm gonna have to dig deeper into that game because I'm having a blast with it.
Yeah.
And I just like even the complex stuff. They could have had like some crazy complex free running system like Assassin's Creed and been like hold A and the right trigger and click in the left thumbstick. No, just hold down right trigger and boom, ninja run. You can climb over almost anything.
Yeah, that's my favorite thing. And then
it lets you figure out where you're going too, because it's like, well, I can't leap up that wall, and I should be able to, so I'm going the wrong way.
Yeah, well, and even crazy stuff like beat that second boss, that French lady.
Yeah, that's the last place I left off. That was insane.
Yeah, and then like the beginning of the next mission, they're like, oh, by the way, now you can use that weapon of hers. And I was like, what? Like, okay, this is great.
Here, have some arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Such a dumb, amazing, fantastic game.
It really is, and I can't wait to play some more of it this week. Let's see, what else did I play? Oh yes, that's the other thing I played. I played Demon Souls for the first time ever.
Oh no!
Ooh.
Yeah. Oh no is right, because I got through the, I had like an hour to sit down and play, and I got booted up and got through the tutorial. I was like, okay, I like the controls. That's really cool. It's an interesting take on how to do all this. And you go through that second tutorial where they're like, all right, here's the ranged weapons, and here's how to use those. And then the minute you finish all that little tutorial stuff, they go, hey, you see that thing? Go kill it.
Yep.
And I was like, oh, okay. Whack, dead.
Yep, and one-shots you. That's my favorite part of that game is, oh, you have all the stuff down, now go fight this enemy. Oh, you're dead.
Yeah. So I die, and I get to the Nexus.
Yes.
And I'm wandering around the Nexus, I talk to the people, and I'm like, all right, cool, this is a nice little place. And I go wandering around, I'm like, all right, I gotta get back to my body, right? That's the impression I got. And I'm walking around, and I'm like, okay, where is my... We go over here. All right, there's some stairs over here, and I climb up these, there's a first set of stairs, and it doesn't really go anywhere, and then there's a second set of stairs, I'm like, all right, I must have to go up to this. And you get to this little, cove, and it looks like there's supposed to be a doorway there. There isn't. And I'm like, well, where am I supposed to go? And I'm like, I gotta climb down these stairs again. So I just look over the edge, and I'm like, well, I'm already dead. Leap off.
Oh, God.
And I died again while I was dead.
Yep.
And that's when I kind of went... All right, I'm gonna need to take this one day at a time.
Yeah,
that's today.
Okay,
we're done. We're gonna walk away. We're gonna not have a bad impression of this game because I don't at all.
Yeah.
I didn't have enough time to really sit down and dig into it and go, all right, what do I have to do from here? Where do I go? What am I doing? And I do like that it doesn't hold your hand, but the occasional grunt and point might be appropriate.
Well, some of that stuff will happen with the writing that other players have left in the world.
See, I don't have it online. I don't think the servers are up anymore. I may have just been...
should still be. If not, then...
My Wi-Fi might have just been down. I've been having trouble with it, so I'll have to double-check that.
Yeah, the really weird thing about Demon Souls is whether or not you want to play it as alive or dead. And you're already... Like, the Nexus is basically like this afterlife thing.
Yeah.
And there are different benefits and weaknesses to playing it alive versus dead.
Yeah.
And it's fascinating.
Does it like change the soul affinity, like white versus dark, whether you're dead or alive, or?
I think that has a small effect on it, and then what you do changes your affinity.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'll have to. I think that's one I'm going to have to read like a little introductory guide to it because
I definitely
be messing around with it. Just like, hey, and I'll try and get it online first because it just it was like, oh, you can't start an online mode. I'm like, all right, whatever.
Yeah,
I'm only an hour into it. I can always start it over.
Yeah, for me, half the fun was playing it when it originally came out and experiencing alongside everyone else. Where we're like, we don't know what we're doing. Oh my god, this game is tough. Oh, jeez.
But it wasn't unfair. It was like, well, that's a really big enemy, and he got 2 good hits in on me, and I'm dead.
Yeah, the other JZ in chat reminds me that you actually can beat that enemy, and then if you go into the room behind him, a dragon kills you.
Yeah.
So you have to die at the beginning of the game.
Okay, all right. I feel a little bit better about that now.
Yeah, it's really just a storyline thing to say. You were fighting in this war that this game is centered around, and then you died because you fought this thing, and now you're in this weird Nexus afterlife.
Okay.
I'm very, very curious to hear what you how you experience that first world. Because I
Yeah.
think you only have one world open at the beginning.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, I mean, I'm excited to play it, but I think I'm going to palate cleanse with Rising first because I think
Yeah.
I need that
Yeah,
at this
you
point.
gotta
I
sort
need
of balance
something-
it.
Yeah, and I need some dumb fun before I go into, something real serious like this again.
My only advice for you, I have two pieces of advice for you in Demon Souls.
Okay.
Number one, never run.
Never
Period.
run. I learned how to run, and I'm like, that's too complicated. I'm not going to bother with that.
You never want to because you're always going to come in and like, I don't see any enemies around. I'll just hustle it over there. Oops, a skeleton
Whack.
pushed me off this wall. I'm dead.
Yeah.
There goes all my souls. The other one too is camera controls are your friend.
Yeah.
Look around corners.
Okay.
That will save you a lot of headaches. And a lot of your deaths are going to happen because you go into a new area and you're just like, I don't see any enemies. And then next thing you know, it's like, oh, because they were behind me.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll
Fair
remember
enough. All right, I'll keep that in mind. But I'm definitely gonna come back to that one because I love I like the controls a lot. The world seems interesting. I never like of all the times I've heard people talk about it or whatever. I never like got what kind of world it was. Is it like a fantasy world? Is it something else? Is it like more JRPG? Is it more Western? And it's like this weird blending of the two.
Yeah.
And I really like that concept because there are certain aspects of JRPGs that I absolutely love,
Yeah.
and then there are certain parts of Western RPGs that I love as well. And if I can get a good mix of those two, so be it. All the better. Let's see, what else did I play this week? We've got. Oh, I played a bunch more Lumines myself. I actually cracked my high score, but still haven't quite cracked 1 million. I was about 40K away. And I just stacked up, and I was falling asleep, just like, oh, well, there's 3 more on there. Okay.
Yeah. That game wears you down. That's the only thing it does. It just wears.
It's an endurance. Like it's barely like it's a puzzle game. Don't get me wrong, but it's also a little bit of an endurance test. It's like, all right, let's see how long you can keep this up.
Yeah.
But even that, like, it doesn't have to be with the Vita. You could just pause it at any time and walk away, and you won't lose anything or be penalized. But you still force yourself to be like to the point where you're like, oh.
Yeah, exactly.
Come on! Oh.
It feels necessary.
Yeah.
So that's a really I love that game so much, and I've developed a system for tapping the back of that back touchpad, and I can get my special up real quick now. I've got like 4 fingers going on it, just double tapping.
I never use mine ever.
I use the one where it gives you 3 like solid blocks in a row. It's great for clearing stuff out. It's like
really? I always use the connecting color one.
Oh, okay.
And actually, when it's really full, the actual scramble block is hugely helpful.
It can be helpful. Usually it is because it'll actually shuffle some stuff around. Like I love that block and I hate that block.
Yeah, the love-hate thing.
Oh, it's like, all right, that just saved my butt. Oh, and it just ruined. I was going to get, on all clear, I was going to get 10,000 points. It was going to be awesome, and it ruined it because I didn't notice the little swirly thing in the corner of that block.
Yeah, I chase that all clear way more than I should.
Yeah, I at least try to chase the single color because just having that extra 1,000 every pass is huge.
I don't think that's that big of a deal when you get up to the higher scores, like 1,000 points. I'll take my 4 times ultra bonus over that any day of the week.
Fair enough. But it is, man. That game is just like it's candy. It's delicious, delicious candy.
Yeah.
And I think the last game I played this week was one of the PS Plus free games for Vita recently. It's Germinator.
Oh, I downloaded that.
And it's an interesting little game. It's I like that it uses you can use touchscreen controls, but you can also use the standard controls. So what it is basically is it's sort of like one of those bubble shoot games where you've got the column of like little bubbles coming at you, and you've got a little shooter at the bottom, and you've got to connect colors up. But it sort of does it in reverse. It flips it over. You've got stuff coming up from the bottom. And when you shoot it at it, it doesn't like just stick together. Like they'll start to combine, and as you get more of these into one big like single colored ball, it eliminates the like tar looking like goo or whatever, like the germs you're supposed to eliminate.
Oh, okay.
And it'll like it gather up.
I was thinking Germans like. Sorry.
No.
Could have said anything else for Germans. Make great beer.
Yay.
It's our last live stream on Twitch, everyone.
No, it's actual.
Out.
So actual germs that you're trying to eliminate.
Like Dr. Mario.
Yeah, sort of. It's a little like reminiscent of that. And each one does something a little bit different when you combine like the red ones. Like you get a bunch of red ones together, they just explode, and like whatever size it was, like that radius will get destroyed of all the actual germs. And then the green ones will do something a little bit different. I don't remember quite. I played maybe 10 minutes of it because I wanted to get back to Luminous. And it's an interesting little game, and if you've got PS Plus, download it. It's pretty cool, and the touchscreen controls work fantastically. Like, I actually prefer those over the standard controls, which is probably the first time I've said that about a Vita game.
I really like the PS Plus for Vita. Like Thomas Was Alone is one of the recent ones. Germinator, Mutant Blob's Attack was one of them 1 month, and that game is really great.
Nice.
I feel like they really come out with a really good selection of games on PS Plus for Vita, especially games that are really good that you might not have played otherwise, like Germinator. Like I would have seen that and been like, nah, well, okay, no thanks.
Yeah. And like they're even doing bigger games now. Like I think I'm hearing rumors swirling around that they're going to have Virtue's Last Reward up for free during E3.
Yeah, I think that's going to be one of the ones this month. Yeah, which is great. And
then I don't know if you guys heard about the other 3 games for PS Plus that they're swapping in, but it's going to be
Uncharted 3?
Uncharted 3, XCOM, Enemy Unknown, and
something else really big.
Little Big Planet Karting. That was the one.
Yeah,
and
that's a good selection of games.
Yeah, and those are going to be available like year round. I think they said so.
Interesting.
That's going to be cool, and just the PS Plus has given me more gaming in the last like 2 months than Xbox Live has given me in like the last year.
Yeah.
Which is, man, I can't sing the praises of that service enough.
Yeah.
Even if you don't have a PlayStation or planning on getting one, just sign up for PlayStation Plus in advance.
Yeah.
Like, it's totally worth it. Get all the games, just put them in your cart. You can get them on the in the browser now, so it's really cool. But that is all I've been playing this week.
I only have one game. I finished Dragon Dogma's Dark Arisen.
How was it as a whole?
Nice.
The ending to that game is so nutballs. I can't even begin to describe the craziness that happens at the end of that game.
Nice.
And how you have to, what you have to do to get your game to New Game Plus.
Oh, really?
Oh, it's so, oh man, it's so weird. But the game as a whole, I really liked it.
Nice.
I really like the story by the end. It was still a Capcom story, so it was still a little thinner than I think I would have liked, but it did a really good job of kind of getting out of the way pretty much the whole time, and only really getting in the way for some short cutscenes every once in a while.
Okay.
I really, really liked everything from fighting the dragon that attacks at the beginning of the game all the way up until you finally finish the game. All of that is really solid. All of it's really, really interesting. And it's really interesting to go back and play through that game as New Game Plus, especially with you and your pawns are like level 50 ridiculous at this point.
Nice.
But I also re-brought in one of my pawns from one of my friends' lists. And now the person who was playing that character re-uploaded them in the server and changed their vocation, which is just their class.
Okay.
And I went to go look at their stats, and next to level, for the character's level, it just has an infinity symbol. So
That is awesome.
I don't know what that means, but I do know that their stats are amazing now. So I mean, I'm continuing to play through the second playthrough because I sort of want to see. I made a lot of mistakes the first time through. Like there's this one quest that says, "Hey, there's this guild of female thieves up in the mountains that took over the ruins of this castle. Go up and go ahead and kill them." And originally, I walk into their little base there, and nobody's attacking me. They don't want to talk to me. They don't care, but nobody's really attacking me.
Huh.
Until I realized that
You were a lady thief.
I was a lady thief, and there were two other ladies in my party. Until the gentleman in my party finally caught up and warped into. He had gotten stuck on some terrain, and I'd gotten far enough that he warped ahead into the middle of the camp, and then all hell broke loose.
He's got junk. We gotta kill him.
One of my pawns after that was like, maybe they would talk to us if we were all women, and I was just like, thanks. I figured that out now that they're all dead and it auto-saved. So it's kind of neat now that I know all that stuff, that I can kind of play both sides against the middle on a lot of these factions. Because there's like this one group of thieves that are in the southern area, and then that group of lady thieves up in the northern area, and they both want you to sort of kill each other's people, but there's a way you can work each group against each other so you can get the benefits of both of them.
Nice.
That I didn't realize until way too late.
I like that gray area stuff in those types of games.
Yeah. It's kind of fun where you feel like you're pulling the wool over a lot of people, and you're like, ha 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 ha. Yeah. So yeah, it's still like the great part now is there's these things in the world called fairy stones, and Ferry stones, and basically you can plop them down in the world, and then you can teleport to them.
Oh,
and
nice.
They were a rare commodity in the first playthrough. Now in the second playthrough, you can just buy them for 200,000 gold apiece. So pretty much anywhere in the corners of the world, I'm just going to that area, plopping one of those down, teleporting back to the main place, and anytime I need to go, like, oh, go all the way back over to this thing, I was like, haha, and throw this thing, teleport over there, and I'm good.
Sweet.
So it's making it a little bit easier this second time through, but I'm still having a blast just getting into it and playing it, and I like being in that world, and I like playing that game, and now the second playthrough is affording me a chance to try some of the other classes out and kind of play around with the world a little bit more. So
yeah,
it's still really great. I know a lot of people have purchased it since I started talking about it.
I bought it.
Yeah, and if you guys have, hop on and grab some pawns from your friends list. There's a bunch of people up there that have really high level pawns. And if you want to make the game a lot easier, you easily can by grabbing them. If you want to make the game as difficult as it normally would be, then don't. Grab a bunch of people that are your level.
Yeah.
But highly recommend it. I really, really enjoy it. I just wish I had more time to play it.
Same here. I mean, I have the original sitting on my shelf. My question is, if I pop it in, will it have like all those bug fixes and like extra stuff that Dark Arisen has, or is that only in that version?
It's only in that version. So you'll have. So I want to say everything I've played is only in Dragon's Dogma. I have not even touched the Dark Arisen stuff because in the very first town, they say like, "Hey, we saw this weird-looking woman on the docks. She's kind of creeping us out. Why don't you go check out what's going on?" And you talk to her, and she teleports you to this whole other landmass in the world. Nice. And she's like, and then it just on the screen it says Dark Arisen, and then you start that stuff. So I went to that area in my first playthrough, and I was like, well, I'll get back to this, and then I got to the point of no return, and I was like, oh, well, I guess I won't be going back to that then.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping to do that rather soon, so I can see whether or not a lot of that stuff is really worth it. I mean, if anybody listening is interested in it and you haven't bought the game, just buy Dark Arisen because it has everything in it,
Yeah.
and there's no reason not to.
Cool.
But I get the impression if you have the original game, everything still works. You'll still be able to get everyone's pawns. Like, you still have the same achievements. Like, Dark Arisen doesn't have any new achievements or anything.
Yeah.
So it's pretty much the same thing, except it includes the DLC that you can't actually download. So, but yeah, that's all I've had time to play this week. So let's take a break.
That's good.
Toxic Joker says it's on sale for $30 on Amazon.
Oh man, I will. I may have to pick that up. I don't know because I got the original. I may just pop in the original one of these days.
I would almost
I've
say
already got
pop
that.
in the original and see if you enjoy it. I mean,
Yeah,
if you
that's
do,
probably what I'm up doing.
it has, you know, the saves work across the games and all that. So
Yeah, maybe just wait for Dark Arisen to drop.
yeah, like I could see Dark Arisen for like $20 if you own the original
Yeah.
one. That'd be a perfect price.
For sure.
Yeah.
That's definitely something I'm gonna consider doing. But first, I'm gonna get a drink.
Okay.
Ooh.
Enjoying my 0-calorie water.
Oh yeah. Ooh, Amazon said my vinyl copy of the new Queens of the Stone Age album just shipped. Hell yes.
I love Queens of the Stone Age, man.
Have you listened to that new album?
No, not yet.
It's so fucking good. Holy shit. I think you'd really enjoy it.
I would too, because I really enjoy that band a lot.
Yeah, I think this is their best stuff they've ever done.
You know, it's one of those bands that you never really listen to, and then when you sit down and actually get into them, are outstanding.
Yeah.
I think Monster Magnet was another one.
Oh man, Monster Magnet, God, what is that album? That one with that red lady on the front, one of the really early ones.
Yeah.
That one is like one of the best stoner rock albums out there. Like, that's the sort of stoner rock I love.
Yeah, so I remember that one interview that they had after they released their one big hit,
Space Lord.
yeah, Space Lord. They're like, guys, if this doesn't sell, we're done. I mean, I can't think. I don't think we can make a better song.
Yeah. Almighty Tooth asks, is this episode an Electronic 3 predictions episode? Nope. We're gonna. I think we've really soured on predictions outside of our end of the year ones over the years, because I mean, there's just so much crazy stuff going on, and I know so much about E3 now that in a predictions episode I might not be able to say anything.
Well, we would know I would be wrong. I think all my predictions have been wrong so far this year. I think there's probably 3 or 4 of them that I know off the top of my head are done.
Yeah, I haven't even gone back and looked at that stuff.
Okay.
Maybe I'll ask Hannah. Hannah, have you listened to the new Queens of Stone Age album?
I haven't yet. I've been meaning to put that one on. I actually, I listened to the new Alice in Chains album though.
Oh, how was that?
I was surprised. It was really good. I think, I think people forget that like everyone's like, oh, Lane Staley's in it. It's not going to be the same band. It's like, yeah, but Jerry Cantrell was the driving force behind that band. When Lane was sitting over in the corner, you know, tweaking out on heroin.
Yeah,
Jerry
Lane
was sitting over
making
there
music.
writing riffs.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was like, eh. And that distinctive like vocal sound was half Jerry.
Yeah, that harmonizing
So-
that they always did.
Yeah, and it's amazing. And the new singer has better
Range?
Not better range. He's better at like hearing those harmonies, and he can really hit them. And I just love the title of the new album. It's "The Devil Put Dinosaurs Here."
Nice. I'm gonna have to check that out. I liked some of the stuff from their last album. I think when their previous album, the first one with the new
Black
singer?
Gives Way to Blue, I think.
Yeah, that was actually pretty good.
I was really surprised by that because Alice in Chains was like, I most people know I'm obsessed with Opeth. I have their logo tattooed on my forearm. That was the band before Opeth that I was obsessed with. Like Alice in Chains was like the band.
Yeah,
and they got me into that was my gateway drug to metal.
Yeah.
No, I wasn't. I mean, I really wasn't a big fan of Alice in Chains. I pretty much just whatever was on the radios I listened to. Was like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
But I think my gateway band in the metal was fucking Mudvayne.
Oh,
yeah.
dude, that first
Like-
Mudvayne album is amazing.
Yeah.
And it
I'm
wasn't.
serious.
It wasn't the Mudvayne. It wasn't fucking Dig. It was.
It was an
their,
LD40.
It was their
Internal
concert.
Primates
It was.
Forever.
It was their concert DVD.
Oh,
You know,
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm like, because before they're like, I'm like, all right, what is this? And
Yeah.
then you actually watch them play and how quick that bassist is all
Yeah.
over
I know he's
that
out of his mind.
I'm like,
Yeah.
he was like, it was fucking amazing. And then you got the lead singer on that giant mic stand leaning out over the crowd. I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, I'm
Yeah.
fucking sold.
I saw them live once, and they were astounding.
They played so there's a bar by my parents' place when I was younger called O'Malley's, and the dudes from Mudvayne are from Peoria, Illinois, which is middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
And they came to this bar and just played a show, and this was like on their second album, like
Yeah.
they were big, and like this place was packed full. We couldn't even get in. Like they were capacity. And we're just sitting out there, and like everyone I talked to after that show was just like, hey, they're phenomenal, they're amazing,
Yeah.
and that like sold me on them. Like they're willing to just come back and just do that tiny little venue.
Yeah.
Like they had maybe 100 people in there because that bar was so small, but it was wall to wall chaos.
Did you guys hear the new Nine Inch Nails single?
no.
I liked it. It was pretty good.
I like it a lot. It's old school Nine Inch Nails. Like, it's pretty
Yeah.
Hate Machine era Nine Inch Nails.
Really?
Yeah, it is
I listen-
old school.
I listened to it and I'm sitting there. I'm like, this is like electronic music that like most teenagers won't recognize as electronic music.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're gonna
That's
sit
some,
there
like,
like, what?
late 80s shit going on.
Well, that's the thing that I
Yeah.
always loved about Nine Inch Nails is like there's always that undertone of Pretty Little Hate Machine in every one of those albums.
Yeah.
Like
This
it's
is,
just under the surface if you hear it.
Yeah, this is like full on Pretty Hate Machine. It's incredible.
Yeah. I'm a fan. I love that he's coming back.
He's going to be playing. They just announced the shows that he's going to be playing 2 nights in a row in Vegas, and my girlfriend and I are going to go see it.
Very nice.
There has to be this new. After seeing what How to Destroy Angels, their live show, I can't imagine what he's going to do.
How was How to Destroy Angels' live show? I didn't really follow them.
Really interesting. They have a full performance from Coachella that's out there on YouTube.
Okay.
It's only like 45 minutes, so it's not
Yeah.
too bad. But yeah, it has
Their
a
music
full
didn't
live show.
really catch me, so
I really liked it because it's experimental enough and off-putting enough that I kind of enjoy it.
yeah.
I don't think it's the best. I think it keeps getting better as
Yeah.
they get,
Oh, without question.
as they get
Yeah.
sort of more settled into it. But
Yeah.
What was another band, a local band around here? Because I remember watching, Hannah, you might know him, Chimera.
Oh yeah, Chimera, Mark Hunter. Jesus Christ, that dude's awesome.
yeah,
I was watching that band in high school.
Oh, you
they're
lucky
from-
SOB.
They're from Strongsville. They were in the
Yeah.
Battle of the Bands, annihilating everybody.
yeah,
Oh yeah.
yeah. They
Yeah,
are
they-
serious.
They keep stealing band members from. There's another band that they keep. I gotta look this up now because they keep stealing dudes from another metal band. Like they'll get a guitar. The other band will get a guitarist, and then they will like lose like 3 or 4 members because they've gone through lineups like it's nothing.
Yeah.
And then they'll steal like 2 guitarists from this other band that cannot
Yeah,
think
I
of the name of the band.
It's not Mushroom Head.
No, it's
Mushroom Head's another local Cleveland band.
Yeah.
I still remember them going to that concert. You remember that when they played at Streetsboro High School
yeah,
for one of the dances?
yeah.
That's
I
awesome.
had no
totally
idea what
crashed
they were
that. It
getting
was
into.
amazing, and the entire town was so mad.
Oh man,
That is awesome. I'm actually really excited. There's so Lollapalooza, is only in Chicago now, which everyone else hates. I love because I live here.
yeah.
And I would love to go to it. It's way out of my price range, but the one
Was
band.
it like $200 a ticket now?
Oh yeah, it's like the 3-day pass is like $200
Fuck
because
that.
you're seeing like 50 bands.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and
but
it's
we're getting too old for that.
hmm
there Doth. They keep stealing
Doth.
members of Doth.
Wow.
It's
That's a-
DATH.
That's a metal name.
Yeah,
Yes.
and it's got the, I don't know what, it's not an umlaut, it's little circles over the A's. I can't remember what that punctuation is
yeah.
called. It's super Scandinavian.
Man.
I don't know. That was fun.
Love me some metal.
Are you guys ready to kick it in the second segment here?
Yes.
Alright, let's do this whenever you guys are ready.
Alright, make sure I'm scrolled properly. Yep. Alright, well, what a great metal name that would be, State of Decay.
There probably is one.
Oh, I'm sure it is. This has got to be up there.
Yeah.
Alrighty, some black metal that eats people or something. Alrighty, you guys ready?
Yep.
Yes.
Alright, ready in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. We got releases. Downloadable games. State of Decay for XBLA is 1,600 points.
I really wanted that to be really good, and it seems like they took it out of the oven too early.
That's a shame. Limbo for the PlayStation Vita is $15. That seems a bit much for an old game, doesn't it?
No, you know, first time it's on there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess you're right. Class of Heroes 2 for the PISP. Still games coming out for that thing for $25.
Yep.
I think that might be the last one.
Yeah.
Is that the one that's like the last PSP game, or am I thinking
think
something
so.
else?
No, I think that's the last one.
Well, until the next Madden, whatever. PlayStation Plus gets Deus Ex. Human Revolution is free. A fantastic game.
I never
Download
asked
this
for
game.
Fantastic.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah. U.S. release for the week of June 10th, 2013. The Last of Us for the PlayStation 3 comes out.
So I was really excited until I started seeing the reviews, and now I'm really, really excited.
Is
Oh,
it
yeah?
weird? Is it weird that really, really overly positive reviews actually put me off of it?
No, the only review that really put me off of it was someone saying it's the oh god, what was it? The something of gaming.
Citizen Kane?
Yeah,
Probably.
the Citizen Kane of
Oh,
gaming. I was
great.
just like, please don't do that anymore.
Everyone knows that David Cage is going to make that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wait, no, that's
He
not
may
going to be Molyneux?
Jason. All
I
right,
know
let's,
that David Cage might actually try and make Citizen Cage.
That's funny. The positive reviews put you off, just like a mainstream metal fan.
ooh.
It's too popular. I can't play it.
All right,
No,
let's move.
Just angry hipsters.
Let's move on to news stories. This week brought to you by the Hannah. So if we have more news stories than usual, you can thank him.
Yay.
Castlevania Lords of Shadow 2 coming this winter. Once again developed by Mercury Steam, coming to PS3, 360, and PC. Picks up from the epilogue of the first game, which we will not spoil, because the special edition of that is coming out on PC rather soon. Running at 60 frames, everyone.
Are you kidding?
Nope, 60 frames, 1080p. So go check that out.
God, I'm going to
Play
buy
that
that
game.
game.
I was thinking about that too.
I really loved that game so much.
Well, I'm really pumped about Lords of Shadow 2 because it has a new free moving camera and it's open world.
Yeah.
So a little bit more like the Castlevania games the Metrovania games we know and love. Not going to say it's a Metrovania, not going out there, but getting closer.
Here's hoping.
Yeah.
I hope so. I don't know if that'll break that franchise though. I mean, because the thing I love about Lords of Shadow so much is that it was kind of set itself apart by being so focused in that storyline.
So what I've been reading about 2 is that without spoiling anything from the first game, you're basically mostly centered around the castle in this new castle in the second game, and then the open world is you getting to explore the city surrounding the castle.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right, that'll do.
So based on the epilogue of the first one, I heard that and I was like, oh, okay, I can get behind
That sounds a lot like how Curse of Darkness handled it. Like you had a little bit you could run around the castle, and then when you were in the castle, it was very, very focused.
Yeah, it sounds a lot like that.
I'm interested to see how they're going to pick it up from the epilogue, considering some of the trailers they've shown already. That's
Yeah, I don't know, but
confusing.
I'm definitely curious.
Yeah, same here.
I have ideas, but I don't I don't want to spoil the first.
They still get the same voice actors, Robert Carlyle and Patrick Stewart.
Yeah, Patrick Stewart's confirmed.
Okay.
I think Robert Carlyle carried that game.
Yeah, he
did a good job.
Yeah. Speaking of Kojima Productions and Metal Gear, Kiefer Sutherland is the new voice for Big Boss in Metal Gear Solid 5: Phantom Pain. I have enjoyed watching the internet freak the hell out about this.
It's been really fun.
I am still of the opinion that, well, we all know Kojima is one of the biggest trolls.
Oh, yeah.
I could bet money, not a lot, that David Hayter is still going to be in this game in a very prominent role.
Yeah.
But I gotta say, I can't believe how many people are upset about Kiefer Sutherland being in this game. That dude's got a voice.
He does.
Come on.
I have no problem with it at all. And I'm like the staunchest Metal Gear, like, it's got to be right.
Yeah.
You know? And man, Kiefer, like, it's one of those things you hear it and you go, oh yeah, of course he's Big Boss. Come on. Yeah. The only way it would be even more perfect is if it was Kurt Russell. It's the only way you get better. Just bring Snake Plissken in.
Or Donald.
I love Kurt Russell.
Yeah. But I agree with the whole thing about David Hayter still being very prominently featured in this game, and just follow David Hayter's Twitter account. Do yourself a favor, follow Kojima, follow David Hayter.
Yeah.
Just watch that until E3, or even up until the release.
Yeah, David
Who knows
Hayter.
what's going to happen?
Everybody needs to remember MGS2.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to play this game, we're going to pop it in, and the majority of the game is going to be something with David Hayter.
Yeah.
Come on. But
He'll be the Morgan Freeman in the game, just narrating everything.
Morgan Freeman needs to be a boss in a Metal Gear Solid game.
Just talk, like, have him talk about the wormhole.
Yeah, I just need him to talk about Metal Gear technology and nuclear proliferation. That's all I need. Yeah. That'd be so good. Next news story, Respawn, the former Infinity Ward devs. This is going bad. Their new game is Titanfall for the XBO, PC, and 360. I have not paid attention to any of this. Hannah?
Actually, I read the article on Shack News and I was like, oh, they're doing a new game, and I expected to open it up and read details about, oh, hey, look, we're rehashing Call of Duty, and they're totally not, and that's actually got me really excited for it.
Oh, interesting.
So it is a futuristic shooter, and the focus is on mechs.
Yes.
Like huge mechs.
Shogo 2.
Called Titans, that you pilot as the player.
But
you don't. Yeah, you're not restricted to the mech though. You can get out, you can run around, and you can actually also leap on top of the mechs and shoot their quote unquote brains out. Like you probably like attack their CPU directly.
Oh my god, it is Shogo 2.
It's Shogo 2. That's.
I was just joking, but this is Shogo 2.
Well, and my favorite part of this is it is running on a modified version of the Source engine.
Nice.
They're not like they're not going like UE3, which fine, fantastic engine, but I like the fact that they've modified Source and they are using it like how they want to use it.
The best thing about Source is it runs on everything.
Oh yeah, you can do anything, and they've actually rewritten huge portions of this engine according to a bunch of different sources. So good. I'm excited to see what they've done because I'm not a Call of Duty fan, but when Infinity Ward up until the big split with Activision, when they made a Call of Duty game, you knew it was going to be the good Call of Duty game.
Yeah.
When it was what's the other company that does them? It's Infinity Ward. Treyarch.
Yeah.
And Treyarch always did like the fun stuff. Like you have them to thank for the Call of Duty Zombies stuff.
Yeah.
Which
they always made good
exploded.
games.
Yeah, they always made.
They just never made great games.
Yes, and Infinity Ward was always good for hitting that one out of the park, and I respected their work. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but they did good stuff.
Yeah.
And I'm actually really excited to see how this game gets handled. The one thing to note is that the 360 version is being developed by a separate company.
Okay.
The Respawn will actually be handling the Xbox One and PC versions.
Okay.
And it will make heavy use of Xbox One's cloud processing support, which is going to be really interesting because I think it's the first game to be announced that has that. And I'm all for that because I kind of work in that industry a little bit, and I'm really interested to see how that works in something as big and mainstream as a game made by the dudes who used to make Call of Duty.
The other Jay-Z in chat says, no, SimCity had that. Well, yeah, but you know, let's not. Maybe we'll.
I mean, Battle Mech was like the Mech Warrior's dark cousin.
Yeah.
Let's face it. I mean, most of SimCity took place on that server, the new one.
Yeah.
And this, I think, will be a little different.
Yeah.
I'm not sure how. I mean, I certainly hope so. I can't speak to it, one way or the other, but it looks like it's going to be. I mean, it's a game to follow. I'm really excited to see where it goes from here.
All right, moving on to the next news story. Diablo 3, also now coming to the Xbox 360, launches with the PS3 and PS4 version on September the 3rd. No Xbox One version announced yet, which is weird. I'm assuming during E3.
Yeah. I would hope so.
I totally canceled my PS3 pre-order for this and moved over to 360 when I found out it has couch co-op.
Oh, nice.
So hopefully my girlfriend and I can sit on the couch and knock out some couch co-op, because this, I mean, man, if you can, this is why we need more couch co-op in games. Because, like, if you can imagine playing through something like Diablo 3 or, like, Borderlands 2 that my girlfriend and I have been playing since it came out. Like, that's the sort of stuff that you can play with another person in the same room as you. Like, she can play as a barbarian, I can play as the demon hunter, and we can clear our way through Diablo 3 together and do all this loot farming together. Like, that's great.
That's love.
Yeah, because games like that are always better with friends.
Yep.
Indeed.
Next news story. Hey guys, there's a new Deus Ex game announced. Deus Ex The Fall, except it's a mobile FPS.
Yeah.
We didn't ask for this.
Didn't ask for this. Launches this summer, iOS on $7. You probably don't care about anything else about this.
I mean, there's some cool stuff. Like it's tied into the tie-in novel for Deus Ex: Human Revolution, which is cool. They're planning Android support, but as with all Android games, it doesn't have a solid date because they have to test for 4 million devices.
Yeah.
And it's being developed by Square Enix Mobile, which is a very noteworthy thing because they're only getting, I think, like assets and some, cooperation and collaboration from Eidos Montreal, which actually developed Human Revolution.
And I think that mobile division is very new.
Yes. I think the mobile division was formed when they announced their big focus on mobile, like they made a separate division and all that.
Yeah.
And it's just... Man, that was like, hey, cool, new Deus Ex game. It's on what?
It's on the what? Oh, it's an FPS. Great for... Oh, that... Never mind.
Oh, yeah. Oops.
Hey, who knows? It could be good.
It could be. Chances are slim.
Yeah.
The other Jay-Z in chat reminds us that Tiny Tina DLC comes out in 2 weeks. Oh, thank goodness. I watched Revision 3 did a sort of a quick look at this. And I sort of wish I hadn't watched it, because it ruins some jokes, but man, does it look good. Basically, all of the Borderlands 1 heroes playing D&D with Tiny Tina, and you're in the game.
Oh,
nice.
Pretty great. Next news story, Zynga lays off more than 500 employees, closes LA, New York, and Dallas offices. Best wishes to a total of 520 employees. That's 18 of their total workforce.
That's insane.
Zynga says they're going to save an estimated $70 to $80 million. Includes the entirety of OMG Pop, the creators of Draw Something, who there was an interesting blog post from the founder of OMG Pop, who said apparently after Draw Something 2 was finished, they weren't given anything else to work on.
Oh, wow.
And they were just sort of like hanging out in the office waiting to get let go.
Wow.
And apparently they said, well, this is a real weight off our shoulders, because Nobody
you
knew why they
know.
got bought. Nobody knew why they were doing Draw Something 2. And then now they're free to go away and make something that they really want to make.
Yeah, I mean, that's good, but it's still like that is a huge hit for any company.
Yeah.
I mean, to lose 18% of your total workforce is just mind-boggling.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I never like to see companies close, and I certainly don't want to wish that on anyone, but I think it's very clear that Zynga needs to focus on mobile innovation rather than whatever their current plans are, because the perception, whether it's true or not, I can't say, is that they're like PopCap of old, where a popular game comes out and then they copy it and put a different name on it. You know, like that's the perception of Zynga, and I'm sure there's a ton of really talented people there that can make really great games. It sounds like they just need to Zynga needs to let them do that.
Yeah. I think maybe slimming down will be good for them. They need to be a little more agile and get stuff out the door quicker, or they either need to do that or a giant 180 and wow us with like something really crazy.
Yeah, something brand new.
Yeah.
Well, they need something original in their catalog to really show that they have the chops to really compete in that arena. Because right now, like, it's just been cloneware.
Yep.
And the mobile space right now is so competitive.
Yeah.
Yep.
They had a chance to be ahead of the game, and they blew it. So, and now they're publicly traded. So, oops! Now they got investors to keep happy.
Yeah, you don't have a safety net anymore.
They're cutthroat.
Yeah. Well, best of luck to everyone that was let go from the company. Hopefully, you can find some greener pastures out there.
For sure.
Next news story: Fable Anniversary announced. Apparently, this is a hot new version of the first game. Updated models, textures, lighting, 1080p support, better controls, new UI, achievements, loading time, all the DLC, smart glass support. You know, all the Microsoft checkboxes are checked here.
All the bells and whistles.
Yep.
Yeah. I kind of. It's sort of surprising that Microsoft hasn't really chased these, HD remakes, as they've been called, as heavily as Sony has, especially with how astonishingly successful they've been for Sony.
Yeah.
This seems like a game that was always not really a cult classic on the original Xbox. My apologies. I can't say the Xbox One anymore. But it seems like this was always sort of ripe for, let's get the whole game together, let's put it in 1080p, let's clean the whole thing up and kind of smooth out the edges. I guess it's not. I'm assuming it's coming out for Xbox One.
Actually, I believe it's 360.
Real? Okay.
Yeah.
I bet at E3 that's going to be one of those things. And now we're happy to announce that this game, you'll also be able to play this on your brand new Xbox One.
Probably. Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised at all.
One of those things.
I'm super pumped for it. I have a very strong attachment to the first Fable game. I really, really enjoyed it because it was one of those, I didn't follow the hype for it. I wasn't aware of it at all.
And I saw know that you could grow a tree and it'll grow while you play the game, except it didn't.
I didn't have those giant expectations that everyone had.
You didn't get Molyneux?
Yeah, I did not get Molyneux.
Yes, that's right.
So I actually picked up the game and I was like, man, that's pretty fun actually, and blasted through it in like 22 hours.
Yeah.
Is that term in our wiki as a verb yet, Molyneux?
It will be now.
Oh, man.
Next news story, speaking of I didn't ask for this, Dragon's Dogma Quest announced a 2D online-only free-to-play RPG for Vita. So, cross, three strikes you're out.
Yeah.
Coming to Japan on PSN this fall, Pawns are returning. Capcom is quote-unquote evaluating a Western release. So, whatever.
Yeah, that's sort of a subtle way of going, hey guys, probably not. Sorry.
Yeah.
Sort of like the whole PSO2 thing.
Yeah, man, like PSO2 is so funny because, like, I don't know if anyone on this show has noticed, I follow Giant Bomb fairly closely. And every once in a while, Jeff Gerstmann will ask Sega, like, hey man, when is PSO2 going to come out? And the answer he typically gets is, oh yeah, I don't know. Just like, Sega.
Well, that's good.
Sega, come on, little buddy. You're killing me here. All right, and last non-pre 3 news story we have here: Legacy of Kain Nosgoth confirmed, not a traditional Legacy of Kain game.
That's a metal band name, Nosgoth.
Nosgoth. So, D-Voice in chat asks, do the TVGP forums support Tappa Talk? We do.
Yes, we do.
So this is another news. This is another news story in a news week full of I didn't ask for this. Because, come on, really? Like, you're gonna come like 15 years after the last traditional Legacy of Kain game, and then the last line here is, the community should not be thinking of Nosgoth in terms of a single player experience.
What was that?
Why would you do this thing to us? Fable 2 wasn't enough?
Yeah, it's Legacy of Kain. I like when they combine Legacy of Kain and Soul Reaver into the same.
Yeah.
I really wish I got into those games, but
Those were
Yeah.
hot
I thought
games.
Soul Reaver was a really cool looking character.
Yeah, those were
Yeah, it
hot
really
games
was.
that I just never got into.
Yeah.
Man.
The same here. I mean, I played the original Soul Reaver, and that was about it. I mean, it was a fun game, but outside of that, I haven't seen the series, and it's supposed to be really crazy and awesome.
Yeah.
So,
All right, let's talk about the Xbox One, guys.
oh boy.
Okay.
Let's talk about this E3. The Hannah it says it's an info dump here.
Yeah, it kind of is.
I think that's pretty apt, especially that last word there.
It's a bit of a double entendre.
Yeah, a little bit of a dump. Would like to remind everyone that my opinions are my own and not those of my employer. So there's 3 major things that they talked about here, and we'll go through them sort of one by one. And we're not going to spend a lot of time trying to figure out the nuances of this because nobody knows nothing.
Yeah.
So the first one is Xbox One Connect privacy tools have been detailed. A lot of people came out right at the beginning saying, "Well, if our Kinect is always on, is it going to be like what? Is it going to be like watching me and stuff? Is it going to see my stuff?" So
well, don't dance naked in front of your TV.
Yeah.
Problem solved.
Yeah, I have Mordor is always watching. So the sensor apparently can be turned on or off or paused. Whatever paused means. But
Yeah.
basically they're saying that the sensor is always on, listening for the phrase Xbox on. And apparently other than that, it's off.
Yeah.
Which sounds fine.
Mm-hmm.
And then apparently nothing will leave your Xbox One to go to other places without your explicit express permission. Allegedly.
Allegedly.
But without getting too political, probably not.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that. So I'm sure that'll make some people feel better, because I know some people were being creeped out, but like, oh, I don't want to sit on the couch making out with my girlfriend and it's going to YouTube or something, you know, like, that's not going to
I can't let you do that, Dave.
Yeah. Ew, gross. So, you know, I think there's a much larger issue of the Xbox One requiring the Kinect. You know, I know that they're saying, like, oh, well, you know, there's sensors built into the controller, and you don't have to sync your controllers anymore because it's going to figure out which controller you're using, and it's going to scan your face, and it's going to see, oh, you're using this one, and you're on this side of the couch, so you're going to be player 1, and you're using that one, blah, 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 whatever. Whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Mm-hmm.
What sucks even more is that the Xbox One will require, not optional, require an online check once every 24 hours. Let that sink in for a second.
Yeah.
Your Xbox One has to be online once every 24 hours to phone home and make sure that you're not being a bad person and doing bad person things. If your console is either not online, or it can't check in for whatever reason, or if Microsoft's authentication servers are down,
Yeah.
You can only watch live TV or DVDs or Blu-ray. Period.
You can do almost anything except play games.
Right.
Except the things it was supposed to be designed for.
Right.
And
Yeah.
So, that's not good. They say offline gaming is not possible after these pre-described times until you reestablish a connection. The recommended connection speed is 1.5 megabits. For those of you at home that don't work in IT, that's
pretty hefty, actually.
That's pretty hefty for a lot of people. Most DSL isn't going to cut that.
Yeah.
No.
It's about most DSL's about half that.
Yeah. So that's not good. In any way you slice that one.
Yeah, and you really, I mean, there's no way to go, oh, well, there's nothing there.
Yeah. Yeah.
So all the way bad.
The last thing in this trilogy of bummer news stories here is
eulogy, whatever.
Yeah, Xbox One and Microsoft will let publishers decide on resale and sharing of games. So this has like 5 different facets to it. So let's try and break this down.
Yeah.
Third-party publishers may opt in or out of supporting game resale. I feel like I'm reading a contract.
Yeah.
The licensee
Right.
will allow the licensor. So third-party publishers may opt in or out of supporting game resale and may set up business terms or transfer fees with retailers. So at its core, this is smart for Microsoft because they're like, hey man, we're wiping our hands.
It's not us.
You do whatever you want to resell your games? Great. You don't? Great. Not my problem. You want to work with Best Buy or not? Whatever. I don't care.
Yeah.
Third-party publishers can enable you to give games to friends. So that can be a thing that's disabled. Handing a disc to a friend and having that work.
Yeah.
The person you share a disc-based game with must be on your friends list for at least 30 days. And each game can only be shared once. And at that point, that game won't work anymore for that person.
Yeah.
I thought it was unlimited between, like, you had, like, a set group of people. These are the people that borrow games, and they could use it unlimitedly.
Nope.
Oh.
We're getting to that.
So, yeah, that's where it gets more horrible. Loaning games and renting games will not be available at launch. That will be coming later.
Yay.
So, the really weird part about this, and where it gets super confusing, is friends and family can access all of your games on your console at any time. You don't even have to be logged in. Up to 10 family members can log in and access your shared library from other Xbox One consoles at any time. I don't know what that means.
And really, there's only one key word that you need to figure out there, and who is family? Is it, like, do you have to buy the Xbox Live Gold family plan, and all those people on that plan
which doesn't
are
exist
family?
anymore, by the way.
Oh, well, then never mind. My theory's gone.
Well, but what they've been saying is, if one person in your household owns an Xbox Live Gold, then anybody that is in that family that plays on that console now has Xbox Live Gold without having to pay for it.
So that means I have 10 gamer tags to use in my one Xbox?
I have no idea.
That no one knows. They have specified in the vaguest terms possible.
I cannot understand. Like, my biggest problem is I can appreciate Microsoft coming out and just laying all this stuff out. But the problem is, every time they have this info dump, everyone starts asking questions like, well, what's friends? And they're like, shh, shh, it's okay. Don't worry your pretty little head about it. You want an Xbox One. Shh, shh, it's okay. But we're like, no. But you're... How am I supposed to lend games to friends? And they're like, that's, shut up. Like, it's just like, what? But I want... What I think this... There's 2 things that really frustrate me, and I am running, not walking, to building another PC and hooking it up to my TV in my living room.
Yeah.
Because this is jumping with both feet into the new world we live in with end-user license agreements, EULAs, being you're renting this thing for as long as we say you can, even no matter what you paid for it.
Yeah.
And this is like the dark nightmare of that version. You know, like, yeah, it can go in the cloud, but we can kind of take it away from you at any point if you're doing bad things or if you want to give it to your friends. Or someone else wants to play it. Or look at it.
Well, I mean, it brings up that argument that you really don't own anything anymore.
Yeah.
Like they can shut you down for any time, anything you want, because that's why it's connected to the internet.
Yep.
So they can control that aspect of it. It's like, it's the thing that drives me nuts with the argument with the stolen music, like that whole Napster thing. I was like, okay, so someone downloads their own album, puts it on the internet, and then anyone downloads that stealing, but I bought that. I have no recourse if that thing is physically stolen from me. Like, there's no assurances that I can get that back because I already paid for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, so the thing that's been really interesting to me is people going, but Steam. And it's like, so the difference between Xbox One and what Microsoft's trying to do there and Steam, because a lot of people are saying, like, yeah, let's jump to the PC and give Microsoft more of our money. The Xbox One is providing a closed platform on a closed system. A closed system on a closed platform. Steam is providing a closed system on an open platform. So if you want to play PC games and you don't want to use Steam, great. You have
Congratulations.
300 other options from anywhere from Green Man Gaming to Origin. You don't have to buy. You don't have to put your stuff. You don't have to put your stock in Steam. But the reason why we have is because it offers such an incredible benefit over the way that things were that Steam is a no. Steam at some point, once it got mature enough, became a no-brainer. And it was just like, well, you aren't buying this stuff on Steam. Oh, you bought a DVD. The heck's wrong with you? This thing's $20 on Steam. 2 weeks later, and you're not installing 3 DVDs on your machine. You're just downloading this thing and running. Like, I think that's the thing that is so different. The system that we're working under right now with consoles works. We're not asking for a closed system on our consoles. We're asking for day one digital distribution and Steam sales on consoles.
Yeah.
And this is very similar that what Sony is doing on the PS3 right now. PS Plus is giving us everything we want, and Microsoft is saying, well, we want to give you what the publishers want.
Yeah, this is the other side of the coin.
That is that is the anti-consumer, and I hate saying that because I feel like I'm on The Economist or something, like the Register. But this is like the sort of anti-consumer stuff that we really can't afford to let go.
Yeah.
Like, you have to vote with your wallets on this one because Microsoft is saying, well, you'll pay multiple times for one game at our leisure, and you'll get to pay for it. You'll get to play it on our terms. Play it or not play it on our terms. And the fact that you have to have your console check every 24 hours is just insane.
Yeah.
Like, I could even understand, like, a week. I could understand that. And I understand the problem that they're trying to address. They're trying to address the PS3 problem, which is you and 4 friends create this giant circle of temporary PS3 accounts that people are buying games on and sharing on that aren't your primary accounts. And, like, you can make a system where one person buys a game and 5 people play it.
Yeah.
Because this super weird PS3 loophole. And I understand that they want to fix that stuff because they want to make publishers happy so people can make games.
It'll be weird. It'll be weird to see what side of the fence the publishers land on.
They're gonna love this.
Well, I know they're gonna love this, but then what does that do for the other systems? If they put all their horses, and then they're gonna be like, well, hey, if you want to play it, it's here. You don't have another choice.
Well, I think that's what's really going to be really, really important for Sony at E3 is they have a really fine line to dance, because a lot of people right now are saying, well, I'm not going to buy an Xbox One, I'll buy a PS4. They're not going to have any of these problems because they're not saying anything. It's like, right,
Sony's
they're not saying
extremely mum on the same issues.
Right, and the thing is, they can't piss off gamers and they can't piss off publishers.
Yeah.
Because publishers love the Xbox One. I can guarantee. None of them are saying anything because they don't want to piss anyone off, and they're hoping that this doesn't go big, like into the popular culture, so that people will buy Xbox Ones and then not find out the problems until they already have the console.
Yeah.
But Sony right now is being seen as like this white knight, where it's like free games for everyone, woohoo, yeah, all right. But they haven't said anything, anyone. Like they haven't. I would have to assume that the reason why they're not saying anything is because it's pretty similar. Probably not as stringent, because this seems like all the way into the deep end.
Yeah.
But if you have one console that's meeting every publisher's dreams, and then the other one kind of doing the same thing that had dealt with a lot of piracy, maybe a lot of publishers make games for one and not the other.
Yeah.
And as Sony, you have to worry about that.
Yeah.
So, PC gaming forever.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope, but the fact is, I mean, the telling thing of the story is that, you know, PlayStation hasn't said anything. If none of this was true, they'd say, no, good luck, guys.
Yeah, they'd be like, look how crazy those other guys are. Not on a PS4, right, guys?
The only thing that I think they've actually said anything about is that they don't require an online check.
Right, they have come out, well, and even that's getting a little softer over the last couple days.
Yeah,
because they were like, at the beginning, they were like, no, why? That's crazy. Yeah. No, why would that happen? And then like 2 days ago, they're like, I don't think so. Why? And then now they're like, well, wait, free 3 maybe. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Well, it'll all clear up this week, maybe.
Oh, first world problems.
Honestly, I don't think any of this is going to get cleared up until after these consoles come out.
Yeah,
because I think they're just going to be like, no, we're figuring it out. Just go buy the Xbox One. Look at how awesome that thing is, right, guys? You love Kinect, right? Just go buy it. Fantasia, go get it. Go. Yeah. And then afterwards, they're like, no, you can't. Didn't you read the contract? You can't do that.
Yeah.
So I'm sure we'll be talking about much, much more in our E3 Super Blowout Mega Extravaganza Super Fun Time next weekend. So until then, let's take a break.
All right. Water.
I got void.
Toxic Joker in chat says, Boston, quick question. Did you end up picking up Remember Me? No, not yet. I'm still really interested in the game. I know a lot of people have been turned off by 6s and 7s for reviews. Whoa. But it looks like a really great game that has a really great story and kind of an okay fighting engine. I don't know. I'm sort of, my backlog is really, really big right now, and the amount of time I have is really small. So I'm planning on buying it when it's cheaper, mostly because I need to wait a couple months. But it's definitely in my wish list. And what I really like to do is pick it up whenever I build a gaming PC and play through it on there. So like I picked up Devil May Cry, the new DMC, for like $13 when it was on sale on Steam the other day, and like that's the sort of reason why I want to. That's the sort of reason why I want to build a gaming PC for my living room. You know, I can get a better game. So Hannah, Toxic Joker in chat asked if I had picked up Remember Me yet, and I haven't.
Yeah.
Though it's on my wish list, and I'm just kind of thinking like all these PC games look better, perform better, and are typically at least $10 cheaper, if not more, with these crazy Steam sales. And almost every one of them has full controller support day one. So, like, why not? You know?
Yeah. I don't know. As much as I want to get back into PC gaming, I mean, it's really nice to just sit down in front of a TV with a controller, and not have to worry about, oh, my specs aren't right. I don't have to troubleshoot. I do that all day at work.
That's what I like about Steam Big Picture and the Xbox 360 controller, and
oh yeah, absolutely.
You know, all that stuff, because like I get the same experience that. You know, like I always have trouble like sitting in an office and gaming for a while because I do that at work all day. I work at a video game company, so sitting in the office dealing with games all day is sort of what I do for my 9 to 5.
Yeah.
So like I really do. I know a lot of people are like, oh, you want to sit on a couch? Oh, yeah, whatever. Yeah, my couch is really comfortable. I would like to stay.
My couch
there.
is awesome.
Yeah. So I don't know.
I don't know, I'm super pumped to get a nice gaming PC going eventually. I just gotta sit down, spec it out, and budget it, and all that fun stuff. That's where it really gets me. It's just like, I got a budget. I don't want to do math or money.
Yeah, what I'm thinking right now is just building a brand new podcasting machine that has like the pretty average specs that I need for doing these shows.
Yeah.
And then just moving that thing into the living room.
Nice.
Yeah. I don't know.
It's all crazy up in here.
No thank you, consoles. I'm done with you. For now.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got a 360 controller that works with every fucking PC. Why not?
Well, and that's what a lot of people are talking about, too. Like, that new Xbox One controller looks pretty sweet. And a lot of people are like, oh, how's it going to work with my PC? If you look at the pictures, it's got a micro USB coming out of the top end of that thing. You plug it into a TV, Microsoft or someone will make drivers for it, and then it'll work for everything. So,
for sure.
Snag me one of them and call it a day.
Oh, hopefully it'll still work with that little dongle.
I highly doubt it. I think Microsoft came out and said, like, I think someone had asked them, and they're like, what? No. What? No.
What are you talking about? We've never made
You have one of those? Well, next thing you're going to say you have a wireless dongle, right?
Yeah,
yep.
Right.
Alright, you guys ready for our last segment here?
It's the final countdown. Let's do this.
God, I hate you.
I've been watching Arrested Development again, man.
I still haven't finished the new season yet.
I'm in the middle of season 2, so...
Yeah.
I can't not hear that song and not think of Joe.
Yeah.
Just the knife, just that.
God. So good.
Oh, what's your return policy?
Alright, you guys ready?
Yep.
Alright, starting in 3, 2, 1. Let's talk about tweets.
Tweets.
Toxic Joker writes in and says he has 3 questions for us. Number 1, what was the most frustrating game save you had that got corrupted?
I was pretty upset when my agent got deleted.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That Crackdown 2.
I'm trying to think the last time... I think the last time I got, like, a save corruption problem was, there was one of those, like, PlayStation Underground demo discs for the PS2, I think it was. Maybe the PS1. That, had a bug in it, where if you played this one game, it wiped out your whole memory card. So that happened.
Oh,
that was a bummer. But I got to play Amplitude again, so it all worked out.
There you go. I think my most frustrating one was losing a Final Fantasy VII save back when I first played that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I physically lost the memory card or if it was just like somebody wiped it on me, but I went to load it up. I was in the last area. I had plopped down that like portable save point they give you at that point.
Oh yeah.
And saved, and it wasn't there, and it was just heartbreaking because I had spent like 100 hours on that game at that point.
I feel like that happened to almost everyone with Final Fantasy VII on the PS1, and most of them were like, you remember those original like Nyko memory cards that had the hard switch on the side because it was like
Yeah.
7 memory cards and oh my god, there's like
Yep.
300 save slots. Oh my god, and that never worked because every time you switched, it wiped out your memory card.
I actually have
I
I have a Mad Catz one that
Yeah.
still works perfectly to this day.
Oh my god, it's
Yeah,
like a unicorn.
It is.
I had one of the ones for my Dreamcast, and like I had, I think I was running like 3 or 4 leagues for N8 or NFL 2K1 or 2K3,
Oh yeah.
and we had like multiple seasons going. Then all of a sudden, it just like the switch just wasn't on it, and then it just corrupted everything on the memory card.
That's
Oh,
horrifying.
Jeez. His second question is, secondly, it seems PS4 will have tons of free-to-play titles. Do you think the Xbox One will follow suit, or is this a PS4 thing? I think it seems like Sony has really gravitated towards a lot of the or a lot of the free-to-play titles.
Yeah.
I know the Vita has a bunch. PSP started flirting with that near sort of its last of days. It makes so much money. I cannot even begin to tell you how much free-to-play makes money, especially when the console holder gets its 30%. You know, we've always heard, like, everyone gets 30%.
Yeah.
That's so much money.
Yeah.
So, yes,
insane.
they will continue to court indies. They will continue to do free-to-play because it makes bank.
It really does.
Yeah. The other Jay-Z in chat says, PS3 has been a bit of a bear running DCUO through, whatever. I think they'll probably make the infrastructure of the PS4 a little bit more friendly for that, I would expect.
Yeah, a little more robust.
Yeah, because especially if you are a console maker that can really make MMOs work easily on your console, then you also get a good amount of money for monthly subscriptions if it's one of those types of games that does monthly subscriptions. So you kind of win if you make the infrastructure there.
Yeah.
So, and he says, thirdly, my 360 broke, so I'm back to my PS3. Was curious if you guys are getting The Last of Us, and if so, are you excited? Yeah, I pre-ordered that pretty much as soon as it's announced because it's a new Naughty Dog game, and I have to have it.
Yeah.
So yeah, super pumped.
I'll be picking it up eventually. Yeah, whenever I got some spare cash lying around, I will go grab that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm more strapped for time than anything else, and right now I'm just working on backlog.
Yeah, I'm strapped for cash, but I like what Naughty Dog does so much that they're one of the few companies that I really want to do day one, and like it comes in, I sort of push everything off to the side, and I just sort of power through that right away. I especially like since it seems like it has more of a story focus that I think it's a good game that my girlfriend and I can sit on the couch and sort of play/watch together.
Yeah.
And that to me is very valuable.
Yeah.
There aren't a lot of games that she and I can enjoy together.
Mm-hmm.
So I like that a lot. So kudos for them.
Mm-hmm.
Moving on to emails.
Emails.
Kevin T says, "Hey, I'm back. Hey, welcome back."
Hey.
Hey, welcome back.
He wrote another email earlier that was long. And he says, "You may choose to ignore my last email." I will, because it was very long. I was wondering, if you could make any of your ideas into a video game, what would that game be? I always thought it would be cool to have an RPG set in the Harry Potter world. A more darker adult version of this. You've read the books, so don't judge. One of my favorite 360 games is actually, there's a really, really good Harry Potter 1 game that came out for the 4th movie, I think it was, where it was basically an open world in the entire school. And they just opened the entire thing, and there's missions all over. It's almost like a kid's GTA in the Harry Potter universe. And it was really cool. Like, when they give somebody the time and the money to make a game in that universe, it turns out really, really well, and I agree with them. I think a classic RPG, and not even like a hack and slash RPG, a classic sort of JRPG set in that world would be super cool.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And I have a lot of other ideas for games, but I'm not going to share those because I want to make them.
Yeah, I've had a couple ideas that I've sort of flirted with. One idea I had was originally I have some really some code from like it was a Flash game that I originally started working on called Rune Lord, and it was this little like top-down action RPG like Zelda-esque. But it was all based around Viking mythology and the use of like the different runes and the magics that are prevalent in those stories.
Yeah.
And you could combine them and do all sorts of crazy stuff. And we got a little bit of the stuff done. We got like switching between maps and some basic stuff done, but nothing crazy. Just one of those like I don't have time whatsoever to work on something like that. And I've always wanted to do like a crazier, more puzzle-focused version of the Lost Vikings.
Yeah.
Just something totally off the wall and insane, like kind of like not quite Trime, because they sort of took the formula and did it, and not quite The Cave, which is sort of in the same vein, but like use like each character has their one specific ability, and you're solving not like the traditional point and click puzzles like The Cave is, but like I don't know, something more almost Resident Evil-y, as far as the puzzles go. The slightly less nonsensical. But once again,
fetch quest.
Who has the time? Yeah.
Ian Cost in chat says the Bob Loblaw Law Blog game should be an indie title. I agree.
Of course he would think of that.
Knobs, any game ideas floating around, rocking in your noggin?
I'd always like to do like how Metropolis Street Racer did their racing game, and not have your normal like Tokyo, New York, San Francisco maps. Like just have called like local racer, or it could even be a kart racer, but just have like more like here you have a region of the game. You buy this region, you can race from there from across the country. I think would be fun. But the one game that I would love to make would be an updated Scorched Earth with the same Intuit economy, earning money to buy bigger and bigger guns, and have instead of having just the different type of tank types, that like more character tank types. So have their little, in the vein of like a Guilty Gear style character looks, just crazy stuff and little talking heads at each other and stuff.
Sort of like what Worms tried to do, but with less of that economy.
Yeah.
Well, right. Like I would like to see like someone pulls off a great shot or kills somebody. The dude hops out of the tank and maybe flips the finger and goes back in the tank or something.
Yeah.
Like just let's have fun with it, because that game, the Scorched, required such a skill to really hit those. Those angles, and just have like baby missile only matches were accurate, and the different weather patterns and stuff. And it's just one of those games that's probably one of my favorite games, because it is the mother of all games. Still probably one of my favorites.
Yeah. Almighty Tooth asks a question in chat here. He says, I'm getting really big on board games. Do you guys play any board games? I'm not talking about Candyland. Woo, Candyland. I am talking about things like Ascension or the D&D adventure game. Unfortunately not. Like I've always sort of looked at tabletop games, pen and paper games, board games, sort of from afar, just sort of like longingly, like, oh, they look like they're having so much fun. But like I've never had the right group of people, like enough people in the right group of people to get like D&D, or like my friends and I, when we were young, actually started playing Hero Quest. Like that sort of old school D&D light. We had a blast on that stuff, but you have to have the people that that can make up your group that are gonna be in it for the long haul. Because it's not like we played it twice and it was fun. We're done though.
Yeah.
I mean those games require a commitment to the actual game that I don't think most people do. Like I still think the great idea that we would have is to have, like, you could open up Warhammer with the Skylander pad to so many people, having your stats and your stuff on a statue that holds all your info and whatnot, and your army, and you can play that out on the screen.
Yes.
Like I think what they did with Risk and even Monopoly on the NES opens those games to that medium.
Yeah, I just think it's really such a a shame that it's really hard to, and I recognize that it's really hard to do like a digital version of D&D.
Yes.
But probably near impossible, or somebody would have done it by now.
I would think you could draw a map out on a tablet and then have
exactly.
that and have the dungeon master controlling things from a tablet, and then you guys was how interconnected. I mean, here we are. We like Chicago, San Diego, and Cleveland.
Yeah.
Who would have thought we'd be having a conversation right now?
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, exactly. So like the technology's there, but like imagine like the amount of the number of years that people have been playing Monday Night Game Night. I mean, that could be D&D. That could be that could be Warhammer. Whatever.
Yeah. I mean, I play a decent amount of board games. I mean, I don't play as much as I used to, but I play games. My friend Tony and my buddy Nate, we would play Twilight Imperium, which is monster of like you have to dedicate a day to this game. It's like 7-8 hours.
Wow.
And it is a blast because it's just this big, like you get like a card about yay big, and it's like all your like racial information for the whatever you're playing.
Yeah.
And you get all these ships, and there's all this little micromanagement. And for some reason, I don't like that necessarily in a video game, but you put me in front of a board game where that's the sole focus, I am all up on that.
Yeah.
And,
the other Jay-Z...
Go ahead.
The other Jay-Z in chat says, there was talk about how awesome that would be on the Wii U. The DM gets the pad, everyone else plays on the TV.
Yeah.
I remember there's a Penny Arcade strip about that, like this one's for free.
Yeah, they're like, we got tons.
But I mean, that's also like, there's a new PC game out that's out. I don't remember what it's called. It's like Space Commander or something, where one person has. It's basically 5 people have computers.
It's
optimally laptops.
It's basically the Star Trek bridge.
Yeah, it's exactly the Star Trek bridge, and the commander can see the view screen and nothing else. And then the other 4 people can see their specific things. One person's got weapons, one person has navigation, one person has communications. I don't remember what the last person has. But like that's, and like nobody else can see anybody else's stuff, sort of by design. So it's all a game of sort of communication between all this stuff. It's like that. I feel like that's getting closer to the sort of thing we would need for like a D&D game.
Yes, and I know exactly. I cannot think of the name of the game, but like me and a couple of my buddies saw that and we were like, "Oh, that would be amazing!" Because
I think the other Jay-Z says Space Team, but I think that's the iOS one where you're supposed to yell at your friends.
Yeah.
So I don't know. That game is also crazy too.
And I mean, as far as like digital versions of board games, I was introduced to the board game Ticket to Ride by the digital version on Xbox Live Arcade. That game's amazing. It's incredibly simple, but it's also incredibly deep at the same time. Yeah. And when you take it out of the the Xbox Live Arcade context and you put it into the board game context, there's one little change that happens. You don't know. If you're playing locally, at least on the XBLA version, you know everyone's destinations and you know how they have to get there. Mm-hmm. So if you like interrupt somebody's route, like you're a jerk.
Yeah,
like that is mean and that is evil and
not cool,
bro. If you're playing the board game, you just keep them all secret, and it completely changes the tone of the game.
Yeah,
and it's one of those subtle little shifts that's what I love about board games.
Yeah,
is that you have the ability to mold that. You can change that rule.
Well, you're playing the game and you're playing the other players at the same time.
Yes, and it makes it really, really just. I mean, it's tons of fun, and they actually just released an Android version. And I think the one thing that's missing from a lot of these board game translations to digital is asynchronous multiplayer. Mm-hmm. And I think that would really crack the whole thing wide open.
Yeah.
If you could get these really complex games and not only put them on electronic systems, like have a Warhammer game where you have the little dude, like it would almost be like chess by mail.
Yeah. Well, that's what I loved about that that multiplayer that multiplayer sort of chess game that I was playing earlier this year, I think it was.
Oh,
when
yeah,
there was
yeah, yeah.
asynchronous multiplayer. Because it's, if I have 5 or 10 minutes, I can knock out a couple of turns in a couple of games and then
Yeah.
go back. I don't have the time to sit there for like an hour or two and play
Yeah.
something directly with one of my friends, but I
Yeah.
definitely want to play with my friends in like, oh, I'm waiting in the line for the grocery store, I'll just knock out some turns here real quick. You know,
Yeah,
that
for
sort of
sure.
thing.
And I mean, I see where it gets complicated because there's a lot of games where you have these, person A, player A is playing, but player C wants to interrupt player A's current action.
Mm-hmm.
And there's also like that's why I don't think like something like Magic the Gathering wouldn't work
Right.
asynchronous very well.
Right.
But like a slightly simpler board game could totally be done.
Yeah, exactly.
And I would love to see more of it. I would love to see like the asynchronous multiplayer aspect. I wish that was played up more in just more games in general,
Yeah.
because it's a really cool feature that I don't like. I think people write it off because it's more associated with things like Words with Friends and like those Zynga games than it is with like an actual. I don't want to say actual game, but like with more mainstream like game like hardcore games.
Yeah.
And I think it could really work if it's a bit of a stigma on it, honestly.
Yeah. All right, we got 2 more emails here, and I'm fading fast, so let's go through these guys here. Ryan M. writes about the Xbox One licenses we were talking about earlier, and poses a bunch of good questions that we don't have the answers to, so I'm just going to read these. And the Hannah disconnected.
Oh, that's why he's so still?
Yep. He's very, very stoic.
Nice.
All right. Well, I'm just gonna clip along here while this tries to reconnect him. He said, "Hey TVGP, it was nice of Microsoft to finally give us more details about how the Xbox One games will work. I'm still a little confused about a few things. One, if I'm the primary user of the console and my sister is one of the 10 registered family members, can she play games I've installed on my console at her friend's house on her gamertag?" What?
Well, yeah. I'm
Okay.
going to say no.
Yeah, maybe. That's a good question, though, because that question's going to come up. Hannah, we don't have your camera.
Let me see if I can get that going.
He also asks, if I'm the primary... Oh, no, the next one. Can my sister be a family member on my console and also be the primary user on her own console? Also a very good question. If I gift my friend the license to the game... so the Hannah, what we were talking about while you were gone is... he's posing a bunch of questions that we don't really have answers for, but they're good questions.
Sweet.
If I gift my friend the license to a game, and is he then able to gift it back to me or anyone else for that matter? Probably not.
We don't know.
Maybe.
Depends on what your definition of the word once is.
Yeah. Can I sell my console to my friend for cash, or do I have to sell it to an approved retailer? You already know the answer to that one.
That's a big no.
If I buy a used copy of Madden from GameStop, can EA block me from playing the game until I pay an additional fee to them after I insert the disc?
More than likely, yes.
Probably, or you'd pay it to GameStop as part of your cost. It sounds like under this, the used game retailers, whoever the approved used game retailers are for those publishers, would have the capability of basically like recharging that disc to then sell it to you, and then that would work as a brand new used game in your Xbox One.
Yeah, it sounds like it would have to be unlicensed from the original purchaser first.
Right.
Is the impression I get, and there would be some weird way of doing that, and probably a serial number or something.
Because it basically has to get unlicensed, because any physical game you buy just allows you to install it on your Xbox One. It still ties it to your cloud account. So, like, if I was to go over to my friend's house and log in under my gamertag over there, I can play everything I've ever purchased on my Xbox One, which is great. Until it's not.
Yeah.
He also says, P.S. I'm sure this will all be easily understood by soccer moms and their middle school children. Nail on the head.
Yeah.
So if you've dreaded hearing those conversations in GameStop before, they only get worse. When little Timmy borrowed his I borrowed a game from Johnny, and it doesn't work for either one of them anymore.
Yeah, that's gonna be a retail nightmare.
Yeah. And the last email is from our ever popular emailer Dave, aka RoboPig. Says, "Hey guys, another fun Thursday night playing UT with Knobs, Musum, Musum also played for a while as well.
Yeah.
He tried to get me into to playing along with you guys, but I was working. As a relative newcomer to consoles, I've not played any games from the following series: Mass Effect, Assassin's Creed, GTA, or Saints Row. If I play one game from those, which one do you recommend?"
Oh, Saints Row 3. Have a blast.
You probably start at Saints Row 3, yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually more inclined to say Assassin's Creed 2 or Brotherhood, actually, because I really love those games.
Yeah.
As much as I like, the Saints Row the Third, man, do I love the Assassin's Creed games. The really good Assassin's Creed games are
those
really
three
good.
ones that are really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, so tasty.
I think I'd go with Saints Row the Third as well. It's dumb fun in the best way.
Yeah. I mean, that's the only way to describe it. You're going to have your open world itch, you're going to have your find and fetch itch,
Yep.
and you're going to have the most bananas storyline you'll ever experience in a game
Yeah.
until
Yeah.
4 comes out.
Yeah, until you're the president.
Because
in
4 just looks ridiculous.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm going to dissent and go with Assassin's Creed 2 because I really think it's a pinnacle of just this generation as far as a different style of gameplay.
Mm-hmm.
And part of me wants to say Brotherhood, but I don't know if the multiplayer servers are online for it anymore because I actually really had fun with that multiplayer.
That shouldn't have worked, and it worked flawlessly.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, it was amazing. I mean, it took me back to Spies versus Mercs with whichever Splinter Cell it was.
Oh yeah.
That was
Yeah.
some sweet multiplayer. And
yeah.
if that had just been a generation ahead, I really hope they nail it on the head with whenever they come out with the next Splinter Cell because they're bringing that back.
nice.
I can't remember how many spitting rages and tirades I have playing Assassin's Creed multiplayer with my friends.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
where did you come from?
Furious. That's ridiculous. No.
Yeah.
No. What were you doing in that bush?
Yeah.
I didn't even know you could get into that little thing.
Oh, it's so good. He says, one more question. What's it take to get a follow from Boston and Knobs? The Hannah is following me, but I want to go for the trifecta. Just send me a message in whatever you want me to follow you in. I'll follow you.
I'm handling it right now.
There you go. That's going to be it for tweets and emails and chat questions and all of that. If you want to visit us, please do so at tvgp.tv. Email us at tvgpfans@gmail.com. Tweet us at tvgp. And join the subreddit, E1M1 on Reddit.
And don't forget to join the forums. Mark yourselves on the map. I think we just had one during the show had marked themselves on the map, so that's awesome. Join us for Monday Night Game Night. That's Left 4 Dead 2. Hopefully Chunks will be there to live stream the shenanigans as they unfold. And Thursday Night Game Night. It's usually UT. You come join us, have some fun. If not, we'll have some fun.
Yeah, join the Steam group for game night.
Yep,
For
that's
deets.
actually posted on the subreddit, so if you go there, you get a direct link to it.
Hell yeah.
And don't forget about this month's TVGP Game Club game is Dragon Age Origins,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a great game.
Yep. If you haven't
Keep
played it,
playing.
it's well worth diving in.
Absolutely.
That's it for our show. Everything else is on the right-hand side of the page. Thank you to everyone who joined us in chat on the live stream this week. If you'd like to join us every week, the schedule's on the right-hand side of the page, twitch.tv/E1M1 Network. If you can't make it live, got the archive up there and on YouTube. We'll see you all next week.
Laters.
Peace.
I've got 2 titles.
I got a whole list.
Mine is Batting Some Balls Around
Yeah, I got that one.
and Ultramarine, which I like a lot.
Also got that one.
Ultramarine.
Ultramarine, just one word.
So here's what I got. I got Dream Team wins it again, batting some balls around, torsos and body parts, Ultramarine, who knows what where, Orcish, I'm sorry, Orcish?
Orcish?
Level 50 ridiculous. I don't know who said that in chat, but thank you
That
for
was-
that. I
that
had to
was
write
Tooth.
that down. Yeah, that was a good one. Lady Thieves, because you said that like a bajillion times in a row,
Lady
Boston.
Thieves.
Lady Thieves. Citizen Cage. And Pre-3.
Pre-3. I still really like Ultramarine.
Yeah,
Just
I'm a
'cause I
pretty
think
big
that's
fan
a
of
good
that
joke
one.
about the color.
Yeah.
Holy cow! I haven't looked at the map in ages. Did you guys pull up that link?
No.
No, I haven't seen it in a
Wow.
while.
That
Getting
looks
crazy.
insane.
Let me pull it up here for the live. Oh my god! Pull it up here for the live stream viewers.
Let's see that bad boy.
This
That's awesome.
business here. Each
Ooh.
one of those little dots there is an individual person that listens to claims they listen to TVGP allegedly.
I still love our lone Russian guy out in Moscow.
Yeah, whoever you are, holding it down.
It's
I'm digging
I
our
think
sole New Zealander.
it's a
Yeah, look at
UKZ.
Yeah.
Plecky, what's up?
Hey, we got somebody in Israel. Oh, Urgent Fury's in Israel.
Nice.
Yeah, he's deployed. Man,
Alright.
that is
This is too much fun. This is my favorite thing of our show
Yeah.
by far. This is so cool.
All right, I'm gonna pick Ultramarine. 'Cause I'm,
all right.
I'm tired. All right, starting in 3, 2, 1. This is That Video Game Podcast, episode 294 for June 10th, 2013. Ultramarine.
Enjoy, sir.
That's really blue.
It is really blue.
All right, we're done recording. Thank you everyone for watching us on live stream. We will see you all next week.